What's up? It's your boy Lil Lamar. I'm reacting to Luna. Her mom was trying to break in. Before I start this, I reacted to like a 13-minute video of SML pregnant Jeffy. This shit, I accidentally deleted this shit. I was mad as fuck.
Luna. So not long ago, I uploaded a story time about an ex-girlfriend's mom and how she was a little bit on the crazy side, and it got me thinking about another story time and how this one probably takes the cake for one of the craziest mothers I've ever dealt with in my entire life. I've dealt with a lot of people in my life that kind of fall on that crazy side, but this woman right here was one of the most ridiculous people I've ever met in my life, and when I tell this
Karen.
story time, you'll probably understand a little bit more on why I'm saying this, okay? So this story time takes place in 2018, okay? I had just gotten through a breakup with my ex-girlfriend at the time, and her mom did not like me, to say the least, okay? Even when we were dating, her mom had a big problem with me for no reason. Even my own girlfriend didn't know why. But yeah,
White people
literally
just
every
fucking
time I'd go to
evil.
my girlfriend's house to see her or hang out with her, her mom was super rude to me. Like, she'd always question what I did for a living. She deadass thought that I was lying about my job. She thought that I
Fuck
wasn't
she
really a
care for.
YouTuber. She actually thought, like, no joke, that I sold drugs and lied about it to her and said that I was a YouTuber. I'm like, that'd be the weirdest cover up ever. Like, why would I lie about being a YouTuber to cover up the fact that I was a drug dealer? Like I feel like if somebody was lying about being a drug dealer, they would use a much more basic job to cover it up. I don't know, like Burger King or something, or working in an
Burger King.
office. I don't know, anything but YouTuber. I feel like that's just too unbelievable to begin with. So anyway, yeah, her mom didn't like me to say the least, okay? And after we broke up, she didn't like me even more. She had a huge problem with me, and I'm gonna tell you all about it, okay? So 2 days after me and my girlfriend broke up, she texted me asking me if I had her credit card at my house and that she might have left it there.
Why do
Now,
you
I
got
hadn't
her
seen a credit card
number?
lying around my house besides my own credit card, so I replied to her and I was like, hey, I haven't seen anything lying around the house, but I'll definitely look for you and I'll let you know if I find it. She goes, okay, I'm pretty sure I left it there, so like look hard. And I'm like, yeah, for
Look
sure.
hard.
So I look around my
What
entire
you don't
house.
gotta
Like, I go
look?
through my room, I go through my guest room, I go through every single room in that entire house looking for her credit card. And I knew what it looked like, and I could not find it. The only thing I could find was an old Chipotle gift card. So I texted her back and I was like, hey, I can't find your credit card anywhere. Are you absolutely sure you left it here? Because I'm telling you, I cannot find it. I've looked everywhere in this whole house. She was like, did you check under your bed? Did you check under the mattress? Did you check in the couch? And I was like, yes, I did. And I wasn't lying to her. I actually did check all of those places. It was not there. And I was like, yeah, I did. I couldn't find it. And she was like, well, I don't know. Like, I really think I left it there. And I was like, I really don't think it's here, but I'll definitely keep an eye out for you. If I see it, I'll let you know immediately. I'll definitely keep you posted. She was like, okay, thank
I
you.
think I'm getting the
And I was
gist of
like,
it.
yeah,
She
no
gonna break
problem.
in
In the
looking for her or
meantime, hit
something.
up some of your other friends that you hang out with frequently and see if they have it. And she was like, okay, I will, thank you. I'm like, yeah, for sure. So anyway, a couple days go by after that, right? I hear nothing. I think that everything's done. I think she found it. I don't know. Like, I just assume she found it. And all of a sudden, my phone rings on this day after hearing nothing. And the number
Again,
has the
why does
same
she got your
area code
number?
as where I live, so I immediately know that it's probably somebody I know or somebody that lives in the area. And I'm thinking to myself, like, okay, who could this be? So I answer the phone. I'm like, hello? And this voice replies to me, sounding real angry. She's like, I know you have my daughter's credit card, Austin. You can't
Ooh,
break up with her and then expect to steal from her on her credit card. And that was just a very insane accusation to make right off the bat. Because,
bitch, you
first of all,
calling
I did
me?
not have her credit card. Second of all, I didn't break up with her. It was like a completely mutual breakup. We both agreed to break up, and she actually was the one that initiated it. So, definitely not me dumping her. So, I respond to this girl's mom, and I'm like, hey, just so you know, me and your daughter mutually agreed to break up. And second of all, I'm not a scumbag. I make my own money. I don't
She
need to
just
steal
talking
from your
crazy.
daughter. I don't have her credit card here. And if I did, I would have given it back to her immediately. And she goes, I'm not buying that bullshit, Austin.
Just hang
I know what
up.
you
It's
really
not that
do.
deep.
And I'm just thinking to myself, like, dude, this girl's mom is actually insane. Like, what? So I respond to her. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you think you know, but I don't do any of the things that you think I do. I live a pretty boring life nowadays. And she goes, oh yeah, boring for a drug dealer. And I'm like,
Drug
that's such
dealer.
an insane accusation to make. I'm gonna hang up on you now. And I hang up on her because I just couldn't take her accusations anymore. Like, she was just going off no facts whatsoever and just accusing me of all these different things that were not true at all. So after this, I text my ex-girlfriend. I'm like, hey, your mom just called me accusing me of a bunch of different shit, and she's just acting super weird. I would talk to her if I were you. Like, she just accused me of being a drug dealer and then said that I'm trying to steal your money. And my ex-girlfriend replies and is like, yeah, I told her that I lost my card at your house and she's not giving it up. She thinks that you kept it and that you're going to use it to buy stuff. And I was like, okay, well, I'm telling you right now, I don't have your credit card here. And she goes, don't worry, Austin, I believe you. I'm like,
Oh,
thank
okay.
you.
I was about to
Please
say
tell
she
your
better
mom
not
that.
be
And she's
on
like, I'm
herself.
trying. She's not believing me. Like, she's just being ridiculous. And I'm like, all right, well, just let me know if anything else happens. Have you found your card yet at all? And she's like, no, I haven't found it. I'm like, all right, well, keep me updated. And she was like, for sure, I will. So a few more days go by after that, and at this point, I think it's really over, right? I think that she probably found her card, or her mom gave up on trying to accuse me of things. Either way, I thought that I was in the clear. I assumed that her mom would not bother me ever again, and I could just go on with my life after that without her accusing me of random shit. But I was very wrong. I was so wrong, okay? Because that day, I get another phone call from that same number, and I immediately knew off the number that it was her. And I answer the phone, and I'm like, hello? And she goes,
Block
Austin,
her.
I need to talk to you. And I'm like, yes, what about? She goes, I know you have my daughter's credit card at that house.
She's
I know
still
you
on this
do.
shit.
Please just let me come over today and pick it up. I'm like, I don't have your daughter's credit card at my house. If you haven't found it by now, I would suggest canceling it because somebody actually might steal it. That person not being me. And she goes, I think you will. And I'm like, okay, then tell me this. Have you checked your daughter's credit card transactions? And she's like, yes, I have. I'm like, are there any new transactions on it since she lost it? And she goes, no, there's not. I was like, okay, because if I was some thief like you're accusing me of being, wouldn't there be a bunch of new transactions on it and a bunch of purchases on your daughter's credit card? She's like, well, I don't know, maybe you're waiting for like a good moment to do it. I'm like, that would make no sense because you could cancel it any day now. If anything, if
Fucking
I was a
bro.
thief, I would spend it day one. But I'm not because I'm not a piece of shit like you're accusing me to be. And she was like, whatever, Austin. And she hangs up on me. So I'm
Mm,
assuming that it's done at that point. I'm
got
like,
her there.
okay, she gave up. There's no way she's going to call again. There's no way she's going to do anything. It's over, right? Oh, I was so wrong. Fast forward to the next night. Okay, one day later, it's nighttime. It's getting to be about 10 p.m. at night. And I'm on my computer recording a
I
video for
know this
YouTube.
one.
And all of a sudden, I start hearing a really weird scratching sound at my door. Now, I honestly assumed it was like the wind blowing outside or like a branch rubbing up against my door or something. Because it didn't sound like a knock or anything like that. It just sounded like a weird scratching sound. So I assumed that it was nothing, right? But I keep hearing it, and then I hear my doorknob make a noise, like it's jiggling. So I immediately run downstairs, and I walk up to the front door, and I look out the window, and I see my ex-girlfriend's mom on my front
Ooh.
porch with a screwdriver and a credit
Fuck
card
no.
trying to like
I'm
pick my
beating the
lock and
bitch
open
ass.
my door. So I immediately swing the door open, and she
Yeah.
jumps back because she's scared. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck are you doing? And she's like, I'm getting my daughter's credit card. I'm like,
Ooh.
by breaking into my house, you fucking psychopath? And she goes, I know it's in here. And she gets real
I'm
close to my
slapping the
face and
hell
starts
out of her.
yelling at me about how I was the worst thing to ever happen to her daughter and how I was just such a scumbag liar. So I call
She the
up my
bitch trying to
ex on
break in my house.
FaceTime and she's like, what's going on, Austin? I'm like, your mom is at my house right now trying to break in. And I flipped the camera around on her mom and she looked so upset. And my ex-girlfriend immediately starts apologizing. She's like, Austin, I'm so sorry. Like, please give the phone to my mom. Let me talk to her. So I hand my phone to
Try to
my
put my shit on my
ex-girlfriend's
phone.
mom, who is very angry on my front porch. And she's like, what do you want, honey? And my ex-girlfriend's like, Mom, you need to leave there right now. Leave Austin alone. I don't know what you think you're doing, but you need to leave. You have 1 minute to leave. If you're not off his porch in 1 minute, I'm calling the police on you. And she's like, I'm just trying to help you. And my ex is like, I don't need your help. Austin
You
did
probably
nothing
don't even
wrong.
want
Leave
it
him
that
alone.
bad.
I give him back the phone. And she hands me back my phone. And my ex-girlfriend's like, Austin, she's not well right now. Like, please just bear with me. I'm going to get her the right help she needs. Please just let me handle this and don't get the police involved tonight. And I was like, don't worry about it. I got you. Because I know that my ex-girlfriend was being genuine and that her mom was probably battling some problems. Because it's not normal to just go and try and break into somebody's house while they're
You
home
need to fucking
because of
go
a
on a
lost
psych
credit
ward.
card. That's just not something that usually happens. So I completely understood that there was a possibility that she was dealing with some mental problems. So yeah, anyway, after my ex-girlfriend's mom handed me back my phone, she immediately turned around and started walking back towards her car,
No
got in
sorry
her
or no
car and
nothing.
left. And I told my ex-girlfriend that she
Wow.
has nothing to worry about on my end. I wasn't going to call the police or anything. And yeah, overall, she went back home. My ex-girlfriend and her dad got a really good therapist involved, and she started going to therapy. And I think in the end, she was all good. But yeah, moral of this story is do not go and break into people's homes or accuse people of things, especially without proof. And yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this story time. I thought it was a pretty crazy one. If you did enjoy it, please leave a like on the video. I'd really appreciate it. Feel free to leave your story times in the comments down below, and
Alright,
subscribe if
that's
you're new.
it. That's what we cap it off at. That was fucking crazy. Gonna break into my house. Fuck no. I slapped the hell out. So that was an 8.5. That was a good story. So without further ado, I'm out this bitch and like subscribe.